We are currently outside the Gong Yan Premises, which is in Qianmen. We're going to go in here to experience the Hanfu and dining experience. It's 10 a.m. I'm here to do my hair, makeup, which is all inside, so come follow me. There are a few ways to book an experience with Gong Yan Beijing depending on your Chinese level. One thing to remember is that they only take bookings 2 weeks in advance. There's a lunch show and a dinner show, and you can also order a private room. The easiest way I found is to call them, if you can speak Chinese, or ask a Chinese friend for help. After securing my seat, I was then able to start a chat with them on WeChat and transfer a 200 yuan deposit via Alipay to secure my booking. You can also try booking online through the message function on the official WeChat account, explaining that you're a foreigner without a Chinese phone number. Just be very careful that you're messaging the official account, as there may be scammers around. If you have a Chinese phone number that can receive texts, you can also easily book your seats using their WeChat mini app program. The best views are the VIP seats in the front row, which are 498 yuan for lunch and an extra 100 yuan for the dinner booking. Our seats were 3-1 and 3-2, which was right next to the pillar, but it didn't obstruct my view too badly. The total cost for my seat, Hanfu rental, hair and makeup was 798 yuan. We saw people get their Hanfu rental elsewhere and just show up, and also saw people in normal clothing. But let's face it, part of the fun is definitely in dressing up. We started by picking out at Hanfu, and I went with a dark blue fairy-like piece. The place is a well-oiled machine with a lot of staff on hand to help you pick your outfit and show you to your changing room, where you can keep your other clothes in the locker. As the clothes are disinfected, you can't try things on, but you can take your time choosing your preferred Hanfu. The hair and makeup process was also relatively smooth. Most of their hairstyles are achieved with fake hair pieces, and I saw they had a range of brown and black colours. I recommend bringing some hairstyle and makeup inspiration for the makeup artist to reference as a general rule, but especially if you're not so comfortable with the Chinese language. I had to be quite explicit about requesting a very light foundation, but she was very easygoing and followed my direction well. Gong Yan doesn't provide jewellery, but they provide a bunch of headpieces, and all I could really think was that ancient Chinese courtesans must have had very strong necks to walk around with all of the dangling pieces. Unlike the Shanghai branch, where I saw they have a garden, the Gong Yan Beijing premises is completely indoors. The space in general is a little smaller, with a few narrow corridors leading to private rooms. It made portrait photographs a little more challenging without flash. You can book a 30-minute photography service for 478 yuan, but I felt that was a little steep. The benefit of getting there early was not needing to compete with all the other people getting their styling done or taking photos. I didn't really think about asking whether we could go outside to the Qianmen street to take photos in natural light, mostly because it involved going down the elevator again, but it is something you could definitely try and ask about. Hi, we are now at the Gong Yan Banquet Hall. We've sat down, they've given us some tea, some food, but the banquet will start in about half an hour. This hair, makeup and outfit change took about an hour and a half, and it's great to be here early so you get the full pick of all of the costumes, but really excited for it to start and can't wait to see all the performances. We started with 3% osmanthus wine and choosing our own teacups. You can also order fruit juice and other drinks for additional fees, and then it was time to start the show. In theme dining, the food can sometimes feel like an afterthought, but I actually really enjoyed most of the food at Gong Yan, especially this pork bone broth and smoked tofu. Can you find the same thing for cheaper in China? Yes, for sure. But given how expensive it was, I was glad that everything was at least fresh, cooked and presented well, and generously portioned. I was definitely very full by the end, and I didn't really need dinner. There were even expensive ingredients like fish maw and prawns, alongside lamb, pork and teas. The show and menu changes by season, and the story segments serve to give some background on the main components of the upcoming dish, while also referencing various minority cultures and historical figures. There were dances, opera, martial arts, live music performances with traditional Chinese instruments, and tea ceremonies, to name a few, with a huge number of performers and servers who would bring out our dishes with a flourish. Though they had limited space to work with, the performers all did their best, and it was certainly entertaining. There was no English translation, unfortunately, but I think you could grasp the general gist of what was going on. If you want to tick off 3 uniquely Chinese experiences in a super efficient session, I think Gong Yan is a unique experience that I would recommend when you go to China.